In this video, guys, I want to talk about when to not use aftermarket parts. So I recently had a shower cartridge replaced by a plumber. The cartridge in the shower was 17 years old, so I wanted a plumber to do it. I didn't want to try to get the cartridge out myself. And he didn't do a bad job, but he used an aftermarket Danco cartridge. Instead of the Moen 1222 cartridge, he used a Danco. And he put the Danco in, and he left, and the shower buzzed. So when you turn on the water, it would be okay on cold, but as it got warmer and warmer, it would start making this buzzing or humming sound. And the guy said, well, if it continues to do that, I'll come back, just let me know. And I know he was running late that day, and he arrived late, and he was, I could tell the guy was kind of having a hard day. So I said, okay, no problem, man. So, my wife and my son were just like, man, that's really terrible. And I said, I know, this is really awful. So he left the Danco cartridge box, and so I could see it was a Danco and not a Moen. So I went online and started doing a lot of research. Not a lot, maybe 15 minutes of research on HomeDepot.com and other places like YouTube. And I found a lot of people complaining about the buzzing and even leaking out of the face of the shower handle. And so I talked to my wife and I just said, hon, why don't I go over to Home Depot and just pick up a real Moen, an actual Moen cartridge, and just try to put that in? And she said, yeah, go for it. And I knew it wouldn't be hard to put in because he had just put in the Danco, right? So it's not going to be hard to get the Danco back out. So I went over there, and the price difference is like maybe $40 versus $55. And of course, if you get it online, you can get them cheaper than that. But I just wanted this thing fixed. So I went over there, got the Moen, installed the Moen without too much trouble. And now the shower works perfectly. It absolutely is fabulous. Water comes on. The operation of the handle's nice and smooth. It's one of the Positemps. And it couldn't be better. Just absolutely perfect. And so I just didn't even contact the plumber again. I just said, I really don't want to even talk to that guy. But the point of the story is that there's a time to use the OEM part and there's a time to use the aftermarket part. When you have a price spread, okay, guys, of $40 and $55, that's a price spread that's so close that you're going to want to use the OEM part. If you're going to use an aftermarket part, think about this. It's got to be much cheaper, like half or more cheaper than the OEM part. And it's got to have no major complaints. If it's got major complaints, it's not the part for you. Also, another factor I want you guys to think about, difficulty of installation. If this is something that you can just bolt on in 5 minutes and take it off if it's terrible, then yeah, more likely go with that aftermarket part. But the more difficult it is to get to, if you've got to take a bunch of things off to try to get to this one thing, 3 hours of labor just to try to change out the part, go with the OEM part. The last kind of factor I want you guys to think about is what is the warranty situation? So let me give you an example. On my Honda, in about 2015, the OEM alternator went out. So I went down to AutoZone and I got one of their Duralast alternators that comes with a lifetime warranty. And I got it not because I thought it was really that high quality, but because it has a lifetime warranty. And on the Hondas, it's not very difficult to change out an alternator. You can do it in maybe 45 minutes. So I put the new alternator on. I drove the car. 6 years later, the alternator went out. And so I just unbolted it, took it over to AutoZone. They put it on their tester. They said, yeah, this is bad. They gave me a new alternator, and that's what's in the car now. And if that thing goes out, lifetime warranty, I'm going to take it back to AutoZone. And so that's the kind of situation where I kind of like having an aftermarket part because it has the lifetime warranty on it. So that's another factor as well. Oh, I wanted to share one more story. So my son came up and he said, well, Dad, why do they even make these stupid Dancos? I wish these things didn't even exist. And I said, oh, no, son. Even though these are not that great, okay, because these exist, Moen has competition. And if Moen has competition, they can't charge $100 for their cartridge. Right? So you always want the aftermarket part to be in existence because it's competition for the OEM part, and it makes the OEM part a lot more affordable. So anyway, a little teaching moment there for my son. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.